Hi guys, I posted a video fairly recently about the X85 television from Sony. It got a lot of views, especially in Spain, so hello to everybody in Spain. And I thought that I'd do a bit of a review video, give you an idea of my thoughts on the television, and really split into three categories. Firstly, will be around the look and feel of the television, and talking a little bit about how it sits in the room. Secondly, the operating system, ease of use, things like that. And thirdly, picture quality and how it works when you're actually watching something on it. So less of me, and I'll let you watch the rest of the review. Cheers guys.
So you can see the TV is pretty well spaced on this table. The base is nice and thin, it fits on most surfaces. Looking at it from the side, you can see that the back is fairly thick where it's got components, but the screen itself is very thin. So when you turn it on, you see this menu, which at the top has a couple of videos suggested from apps that you have across the device. You'll find that you have usually YouTube, if that's the main thing you use, but there's TED Talks on there as well, and a couple of Sony suggested ones as well. Then you've got a couple of apps that Sony Auto puts on there. These have recently updated and been increased. You've got Amazon, Netflix, iPlayer, all your usual ones. You've then got your inputs, so TV, HDMI, and then you've got these apps that are all of your apps across the device. So you've got weather, music, things like that. And if you go across to this menu here, Store, you've got things that you can additionally download. So this is very similar to an Android phone. As you can see, it's taking a little while to load, but once you're there, it will show you all of the things that you can download for your device. There is predominantly entertainment, but there's also games on here. You can buy a gamepad separately. I don't have one of those at the moment. There's also TV games on there. So there's a store where you can download multiple apps that have been released in here by third parties. Now, one of my biggest bugbears is YouTube. So you can see here, I'll get my phone out so that you can have a quick look. I have a couple of videos here that are in my subscriptions list. So these are by people that I know have posted videos fairly recently. So you can see them there and they're ready to watch. Now, if I take you back to the television and load up YouTube, you'll see that it instantly loads on the last thing I watched. So it's going back up now to my subscriptions list, and you'll see that these aren't the videos that I just showed you. So if I cut you back to my phone, you can see that the most recent video on my phone is from Casey Neistat. If you then look back at the subscriptions list, it's yesterday's video from Casey that's there, and if I scroll down to Casey Neistat's channel, you'll see that the most recent video again is not showing up at all. Now this happens every time I use the YouTube app on the TV, and the way that I get around this is I have to go down into settings, and you'll see here quite how long it takes to load even just this settings menu. So I will then scroll across to apps, and I'll talk about the controls a little bit later, but this is where it gets really interesting. So we now have to wait again for the downloaded apps to actually load. Here it's almost like a frame of a menu that it takes a good few minutes to populate sometimes. So if I now scroll down and go across to YouTube, which hopefully you're not able to go back to the last letter, you have to scroll all the way through. So if I get to YouTube, I'll then open it up, click full stop, click OK, and then open again. And this is all real time, so this is how long it takes to load each step. And then scroll down to subscriptions. You'll see that the videos are now in there, so Casey's most recent vlog is now on my subscriptions list, but I've had to restart YouTube in order to do that. And I have turned off and on the TV since this video has been posted, so it's not like it's loaded a cache version of YouTube. Now I want to talk about 3D. I know a lot of people aren't that bothered about 3D at all, but I want to give you guys a bit of an experience as to the 3D loading. And I'll talk again when I show you the remote this. So I have to click down into 3D and then select from 3D display, click side by side, and then it will load up into 3D. So you can see here, obviously you don't have the glasses on, but this is now played in 3D mode. Where that gets a little bit annoying is when you come off watching a 3D movie and go into YouTube, for example here, there is no option to turn the 3D mode off. So what I have to do is go back into where the 3D source was, go onto that picture, and then you can see that I can now go into this display menu and choose to turn off 3D and go back into YouTube to watch the clip as it was. I also wanted to show you guys some 4K footage on here, so I cannot fault the picture quality on this television. It's absolutely crystal clear, it's fantastic. It looks really good. My camera here probably isn't doing it justice in 4K, but any stuff that's on 4K, which you can find on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, and some YouTube videos now, really do look very good. And I mean, I've zoomed in as far as my camera will show you the picture, but really is great quality of picture. And similarly with HDMI, you can see here this is HD footage from Sky. It's a British show, MasterChef, and you can see here really does look great again. And with standard definition, it's not so great, not as good as the HD. Obviously scales up pretty well, and this is a bit of an older show, but you can see it's not quite as clear as HD or 4K. Now the controls, you get both of these with the television. To take the touch one first, this is a nice little control, looks really nice. You can see here it's both touch and buttons. Sliding across here with the menu, as you saw earlier, you're not able to actually constantly scroll, so that was a frustration, and I actually use the one on the right more often as a result of that. I can then just hold it and go all the way to YouTube so that I can restart, and you can see this is a bit more buttony, and you're able to do it. Now this football button is really frustrating for me, because as much as I like watching football, I could have really done with one of those for 3D YouTube rather than Netflix. While I do watch Netflix, I find I watch the other two a lot more, and it'd be really nice to have that fast switching. So those are two you get, but the reality is the soundbar that comes with the Sony television doesn't sync by Bluetooth. You can only control it with this control. So I actually have 3 controls for the television, and this one is a bit of a bad controller, to be honest, and it's annoying to have to switch between them rather than the Bluetooth just syncing them straight away. Now I wanted you guys to see the sound. They are rear-facing speakers, but they're pretty strong, they're pretty good quality. I'll just let you have a listen.
It's some sort of substance. I'm not sure what it is, like a white flame. But it's not hot, it's cold.
Glasses look like they're made of the same tech. What are they for?
The glare. You'll see.
Who else knows you took this?
Just us.
No. Just me. Sorry, pal.
So to sum up, it's a great television, fantastic picture quality. The operating system isn't fantastic, and it does slow when updated. I'll link to my other video which shows this happening, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers guys.